What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, I apologize because I'm a little bit late on this. I'm recording this about a week into April already, but I wanted to do the March review and April outlook, so kind of like this monthly review thing or monthly review series that we've been doing, and just kind of see what progress has been made because it's when we go through the month, it's like a long slog, but then you look back on, you're like, whoa, we actually accomplished quite a bit, or the team, I should say, accomplished quite a bit, but I'll use the royal we since we're all in this together, right? Team, community, everybody. So here were the March expectations. I haven't touched this, so I just wanted to show where my expectations were going into it, but we had the land map enhancements, so phase one, right? Land map enhancements, and then phase one, which was surveying. We had the land phase 1.5 white paper. Now, we did get that. We got the market listing fee. We got the tower defense beta. Now, obviously, the land phase 1 surveying got pushed into April, but we did get it on the MAV server by the end of March, technically. So, I'm gonna count that as a win. Now, the stuff that we didn't necessarily get were the quarterly promo card and SPS delegation. But the quarterly promo card, it seems, was moved to April because we found out we actually have 2 quarterly promo cards. Not two quarterly promo cards, but we had the Vruz one, the proposal that passed. So they did get Vruz out and essentially moved that quarterly proposal quarterly promo card into April, which when you think about it makes sense. If you just kind of backdate it, you can say that like in October, that was the beginning of Q4, right? Q4 2022. And we had the Lux Vega promo card. Salty Bear technically went live in December, but that kind of like holiday sale or winter sale, as they called it, went all the way into January. So we can call that kind of like a quarterly promo card for Q1, right? January or Q1 of 2023. Granted, it was different from the type of promo card that we're used to because it was all about, Chaos Legion packs and selling those. Not getting it in March is actually fine with me. We don't want to be just raining promo cards left and right. So pushing it into April makes a lot of sense, especially since we had the Vruz one, which has been exciting, and I really like the Vruz card overall. So quarterly promo card, we didn't get. That got pushed into April. And then SPS delegation is something that was set for the end of, or was set for Q1 originally, but we did not get it. And then ECR overhaul is something that we heard about late February, and we did get that in March. So March actuals, so we covered all of these things already. We got the quarterly. We didn't get a quarterly promo card, but I guess I can delete that and just say we did get a promo card, which was Vruz. We got the ECR overhaul. We got a new rule set, which was the conscript rule set. Now, this is something that was teased all the way back in January at the beginning of the quarter with the new summoners, soulbound summoners coming in and the conscript ability. But it's not called conscript. I think the actual name of the rule set is like, "Are you not entertained?" from the reference to the Gladiator movie. We also got updates to tournament prizing, which I don't know how much this affects people on a day-to-day, but for tournament creators now, instead of having to manually send out prizes outside of SPS or DEC, you could include assets in the game like packs or land or things like that. So that was something that was implemented there. And then we also got a couple of streamer mode quality of life updates. So overall, I would say March, obviously the big focus was on getting land out, and they did get it out by, first week of April, and everything has been awesome so far. So on the whole, things are looking, things look pretty good in March. I'm very, very happy with all of the stuff that popped up, as well as all the stuff that the team wanted to hit and actually knocked out. Now, we are heading into Q2, which makes it actually difficult for me to have any real expectations because we get this conglomerate from the roadmap that is for the entire quarter, right? Or at least for the next 10 weeks. So my April expectations really is just the promo card. That's the only thing we know that the team wants to try to hit in April. So I'm actually going to go over here to the roadmap, and we could just look at the roadmap again and maybe do a little speculation on what we can expect from this overall. So the beta release for Soulkeep actually went live last month, but let's start at the top here. So SPS staking, that is something, replacing CP with SPS staking, that is something that may come in, but is also very dependent on the SPS delegation. Now, keep in mind, SPS delegation was something that was on the docket for last year. Sorry, not last year, last quarter, but got pushed here, probably in favor of the SPS governance player proposals. It's when I did my review of the roadmap, it seemed like those got swapped. That was originally supposed to be in Q2, but got moved up into Q1. So SPS delegation is now in Q2. So since these are so closely tied together, I don't know. I would like to think it'd be awesome if we got SPS delegation available and then replacing, CP with SPS staking. But that's a rather large project. So it's hard for me to say like with any kind of confidence or certainty that I would expect that in April, especially because we haven't heard anything about it. And it is something major, not just like an ECR overhaul or a new rule set that pops up. Let's see here. For the new players, improved experience. Again, that's a little vague. One-click set rentals. Now, I would love to see this in game, but we do have that already available on third-party sites like Peak Monsters. So maybe we get that in April. That seems like something that might be a little bit easier to implement, but ultimately, I'm not. I'm not really sure. Now, we got the quarterly promo card. We got a new mini set with a brand IP partner. This was, I think Aggie's been teasing it, but saying like it wouldn't be until like near the end of Q2 or something like that. So I highly doubt that we get any, we're definitely not going to get a sale for it. Maybe we'll get some information or confirmation that, it was, the deal went through and we can expect it at some point. But at this point, we're not going to actually have it go live. Now, guild buildings were the things that I was really, really hopeful for we would get in April, just because Cryptomancer had finished up working on all the tournament stuff he was doing and then was focusing on this. But in the last town hall, the first town hall of April 2nd, I think it was, no, April 3rd, it sounded like Cryptomancer, they hadn't actually started the coding for the new buildings. I'm not a coder. I'm not a dev. I don't know how long that takes. And I'm sure it's not just the coding, but there's also going to be testing and making sure. From what it sounded like, again, and I'm just speculating from what I heard on the town hall, it sounds like the high level, logic and infrastructure from an ideation standpoint is done, right? So, and now it's just a matter of Cryptomancer actually doing the work and taking that logic and coding it into the game. But it's April 7th already. We got a little bit more than 3 weeks left. There's 3 maintenance windows. I'm not confident that we get it in April. And then land phase 1.5, obviously that's there's no way that's going to happen in April. They've been talking about that for the end of the quarter. So ultimately, I don't know. April may be a slower month overall. We may have this kind of overhang or hangover, I should say, from the release of land. There's still going to be a lot of excitement there. We're going to see a lot of surveying go live. The one thing that I didn't add on there, which was already confirmed, was the Jarvie proposal. It sounds like that is going to be going live. So, and I don't know how big of a coding thing that is, but it sounds like they're already going to have that go live. So I guess I can add that in. So let's see, SPS to surveyed land. So we can expect that. It sounds like it's already been announced for April 11th. But again, outside of that, it's kind of just a blank slate. Again, if I had to bet money, and I'm not going to, but if I had to bet money out of all the things that are listed here, land, no, guilds, most likely not. New mini set, definitely not. Beta release, well, we got that already, and we know that from the last town hall with the double coconut CEO on there, we know the game is not, they're shooting for end of May. New player experience is probably the one that makes the most sense to me if I had to pick one. The one-click set rentals might be something that's implemented. Again, I don't know how much coding is required in that, but I feel like the SPS delegation and replacing CP with SPS staking are relatively large. Again, I would love, love, love to see that in the month of April, but we just haven't heard much from the validator side. So we don't know if SPS delegation is going live. Something that they completely removed, I think, from the previous roadmap from Q1 was SPS rentals, right? So you'd be able to actually rent SPS for whatever you needed. So again, I don't know if that stuff's getting pushed out or what the case is, but ultimately we'll end up seeing what happens. But again, if I had to bet my money, then I would probably say we'll get something for the new player experience. And maybe it's not just one-click set rentals. There might be a couple of other things, right? They say improved experience overall. So hopefully it'll be like a little smattering of different things that improve the overall experience for new players. So I'm actually going to leave this for you guys now. I am curious, based on what you see here in Q2, if you had to bet your money, what would you think we would see outside of the promo card? Again, I think April probably will be a little bit of a slower month. There's still a heavy focus on land, getting land phase 1.5 out. But my hope is that once we see what's done in April and get a better idea of what to expect the rest of the quarter. And again, these quarters are starting to feel weird just because, or the ages are starting to feel weird because they don't nicely line up with quarters. Like, for example, this is only going until May 23rd, even though Q2 technically goes until the end of June. Hopefully we'll get a better idea for what we can hit if all of these are going to be hit before May 23rd. Again, I'm thinking that this stuff is going to happen by the end of June, even though they have this Age of the Minotaur here. But what would be really cool is if they can hit everything except for land phase 1.5, and maybe the mini set. Again, I mean the mini set could come out, but I would just expect all that stuff at the end of the real Q2. Actually, this will be easier. We'll say Q2 versus Age of the Minotaur. So I'm expecting most of this stuff by the end of Q2 rather than the Age of the Minotaur, which is about a month and a week earlier than that. But in terms of like what would actually come within the Age of the Minotaur, I'm hoping that we can get guild stuff in May. That would be pretty cool. Guild stuff in May, hopefully the SPS delegation and SPS requirements, staking requirements to come in by the end of the Age of the Minotaur. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.